Good evening. Senator Bato Dela Rosa admits initiating the draft resolution seeking to dismiss the impeachment case against Vice President Sara Duterte. Dela Rosa on Wednesday, June 4, says the resolution circulating among lawmakers came from his office. Asked why he initiated the resolution, Dela Rosa urges the public to just read the document. He says it, quote, directly states what he feels. The draft resolution states that the postponement of the reading of the articles of impeachment against Duterte leaves the current Congress with not enough time to deliberate. According to the document, the impeachment trial cannot cross over to the incoming 20th Congress. It also states that the articles of impeachment against Duterte should be deemed de facto dismissed. According to De La Rosa, he consulted a few of his colleagues regarding the matter. He reveals that his resolution already has a number of backers but refuses to give an exact figure. Asked if he will formally file the draft measure, De La Rosa says he will evaluate the matter first. He points out that some of his colleagues also have resolutions related to his measure. De La Rosa says it may be possible to incorporate good provisions into their draft and make the final version that is acceptable for majority. According to De La Rosa, he saw 3 different versions of this resolution, but he points out that his draft was the first among others. The former top cop says he is still unsure when he will formally file the measure, but he could do it next week. De La Rosa is a known ally of the Dutertes. However, he shares how the vice president was not aware he is initiating such a resolution. The palace is once again distancing President Bongbong Marcos from the ongoing clamor surrounding Vice President Sara Duterte's impeachment trial. In a briefing on Wednesday, June 4, Presidential Communications Office Undersecretary Claire Castro was asked about the palace's position on whether the impeachment trial against Duterte can be carried over from the 19th Congress to the 20th. In response, Castro says the president will not interfere with the impeachment process.
Kung ano po ang idea ng Pangulo patungkol dito, una po, maliwanag din sinabi ng Pangulo na impeach na po si VP Sara. Kaya po, hindi niya po ito papakialaman. Wala po siyang anumang gagawin patungkol dito dahil lahat po na mangyayari ay nasa Senado na po.
Senators have debated on whether or not the impeachment trial against the vice president can cross over to the next Congress. The palace official reiterates that Marcos wants due process to be upheld in the impeachment process. Castro emphasizes that the rule of law should be followed. She then stresses that the president should not be blamed for whatever decision the Senate makes on the matter.
Kung matuloy po o hindi matuloy ang impeachment, mukhang hindi na po yan sakop ng ating Pangulo. Ang gusto lang namin pong parating, sana po ay wag ipahid sa Pangulo kung ano man po ang magiging desisyon ng Senado dyan.
Several members of the House of Representatives believe that dismissing the impeachment complaint against Vice President Sara Duterte through a Senate resolution will be unconstitutional. House Prosecution Member Representative Joel Chua says he believes a resolution to dismiss the impeachment case violates the 1987 Constitution. He cites the senator's constitutional mandate to hear arguments from both the defense and the prosecution. A draft Senate resolution seeking to dismiss the impeachment raps against Duterte circulated among lawmakers. The draft resolution cited insufficient time to discuss the articles of impeachment against Duterte. Prosecution Member Representative Jervil Luistro also points out that the Constitution requires a trial before judgment can be rendered. She emphasizes that the Senate has the sole power to try and decide all impeachment cases. Meanwhile, a former Bayan Muna Representative Merical Manares says the Senate has to convene as an impeachment court first. He notes how only the impeachment court can dismiss the complaint after a trial. Concerns arose about whether the impeachment trial will proceed after Senate President Chis Escudero rescheduled the presentation of the articles of impeachment. Senators have debated on whether the impeachment trial can cross over from the 19th Congress to the 20th Congress. Philippine National Police Chief General Nicolas Torre III says his order to make more arrests is different from former President Rodrigo Duterte's drug war. In a chance interview on Wednesday, June 4, Torre distinguishes his directive from the supposed reward system revealed during a House of Representatives probe. The House Quad Committee investigated the alleged extrajudicial killings in Duterte's anti-drug campaign.
Ang kota naman pinag-uusapan doon ay hindi naman aresto. Okay? So, ano yung nandun sa Quadcom, hindi aresto yun. Okay? So, hindi ganun yun. Okay? Ito yung mga bagay na pag nagka-investigasyonan, hindi ko i-invoke ang aking right to remain silent, hindi ko i-invoke ang aking right against self-incrimination. Kasi wala kami tinatago rito. At wala kami itago. Pag inaresto po, buhay ang tao eh.
In October last year, retired Police Colonel Royina Garma testified before the Quad Committee that Duterte supposedly ordered the enforcement of a system that paid officers for every drug suspect killed. Duterte is now detained by the International Criminal Court in The Hague, Netherlands, to face allegations of crimes against humanity. Upon assuming office as the new PNP chief on June 2, Torre said arrests will become a metric to measure the law enforcer's performance. The Commission on Human Rights then expressed concern that the directive may unintentionally pressure officers to prioritize quantity over quality. But Torre assures the public that the police's job is to lawfully arrest suspects and uphold their rights in the process.
May mga nagre-raise ng questions. Eh baka naman umubuso ang pulis. Aresto na lang ang aresto kahit walang basihan. Tandaan natin, pag sinabing aresto, buhay ang tao, hindi patay. Okay? Kasi ang patay, hindi ko talaga ini-encourage yan. It is only within the ambit of Article 11 of the Revised Penal Code. Justifying circumstances, specifically self-defense, doon lang may nasasaktan, may namamatay. Pero hindi yun ang number one na trabaho ng pulis. Ang trabaho ng pulis, manghuli, buhay.
The palace fires back at Davao City Vice Mayor-elect Sebastian Baste Duterte for his tirades against President Bongbong Marcos. Baste Duterte earlier made several heated remarks against the president while he was visiting his father, former President Rodrigo Duterte, in The Hague, Netherlands. In a briefing on Wednesday, June 4, Palace Press Officer Claire Castro says she believed no nice words should be expected from the younger Duterte at this point. But the palace official criticizes the younger Duterte's claim that Marcos's recent cabinet revamp was merely a smokescreen to get Minardo Guevara out as Solicitor General.
Siguro po tanungin niya muna po si dating Solicitor General kung ano po ba ang naging accomplishments ni Solgen Minardo Guevara bago niya po punahin ang naging desisyon ng Pangulo. So alamin niya po kasi muna ang facts bago po siya mamintas at maging obstructionist.
Castro reiterates that Marcos accepted the courtesy resignations of officials he believed underdelivered or underperformed and retained those he trusted. Castro also blasts the vice mayor-elect for calling Marcos a liar for his supposed offer to reconcile with the Dutertes. According to Castro, Marcos did not offer to reconcile but merely expressed being open to the idea of reconciliation with the Dutertes.
Maaari lamang po na itong si Mayor Baste ay hindi niya naintindihan ang pahiwatig ng Pangulo patungkol sa rekonsilyasyon o siya ay napapaligiran ng mga fake news peddlers na kung ano-ano ang sinasabi sa kanyang mga idea. So, nakakaawa po yung ganun.
And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good evening.